A task force in California has estimated that $569 billion in reparations is owed to the descendants of enslaved people.
The task force has been studying the long-term effects of slavery and systematic racism on black residents in California. The panel concluded that black Californians whose ancestors were in the U.S. in the 19th century are due more than $220,000 each. The potential payouts represent the largest reparations effort in recent history.
Civil rights attorney Areva Martin is working with the 500 families whose homes were burned down or bulldozed on orders from the city of Palm Springs in the 1960s. She's going to be speaking tonight in Evanston at the reparations town hall meeting along with other leaders. And she's in studio with us this morning. Areva, thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
So we know that Evanston is one of the first municipalities to approve reparations. Before we talk about that, talk about Palm Springs. People might not be familiar with that.
Yeah, Palm Springs is known as this exotic resort location in the desert. Lots of movie stars went there in the 60s to escape the glare of Hollywood executives. But there was a dark secret in Palm Springs. As it was becoming this exotic resort and getaway for the rich and famous, it was also systemically discriminating against its black and brown residents. Racial covenants prevented black and brown people from living in neighborhoods next to white people. And when a very prime piece of downtown property became available for commercialization, the city, upon orders from the mayor and the city council, started this process of bulldozing and burning families out, oftentimes with their belongings in their homes.
Yeah, and that sounds like Tulsa, Oklahoma, where in addition to what happened there in the 20s, during the urban renewal, when a new highway needs to go in, where do they put the highway? Through the black neighborhood. And that happens all across the country. But some people will say reparations, why should I or everybody pay reparations for something that I specifically didn't do?
Yeah, that's a great question. And in the case of the families, the hundreds of families I'm representing in Palm Springs, it's a real simple answer. The city engaged in this conduct, acting under the color of law. And no differently than when a sheriff or a police officer does something that the city is responsible for. When the city takes actions which causes harm to its residents, the city is responsible for restoring and repairing the harm that it does. We can point to specific property that was destroyed by order of the city. So you don't have to think about what happened to folks that weren't around. They're survivors that are still living, 94-year-old, 80-year-old, 70-year-old people who were there, who watched their homes actually burn down as a result of these orders from the city. And in fact, it was the city fire department. When you think about if there's a fire at your home, who do you call? You call your fire department. But in this case, it was the fire department engaged in this conduct.
You're going to be at an Evanston town hall tonight. So talk about where things stand in Evanston. They had reparations based on real estate, and talk about how that's proceeding there.
Yeah, so Evanston first allotted $10 million based on a 3% tax on cannabis, and that was set aside for $25,000 housing grant. So residents could apply, they could use the money to renovate their homes, they could pay down their mortgages, do something that was going to invest back into the housing market in Evanston. They've now since gotten an additional $10 million, and they're continuing their efforts to make good on, again, wrongs that were committed against blacks who lived in Evanston, who were subjected to racially restrictive covenants, redlining, and other kinds of racially restricted policies.
Can I throw another argument at you that people have, which is, hey, that happened a long time ago, and they would say we have more than made up for that with policies like affirmative action. How do you argue
well,
that
just
point?
Look at the numbers. Look at the wealth gap between African Americans and white people in this country, and it's like a 10 to 1. So the wealth gap is evidence. You look at where most African Americans live, where they work, the kinds of jobs that they have, and you can see that affirmative action has done very little to address the harms that were done by African Americans. You look at the city of Palm Springs, the upending of the Section 14 community pushed African Americans, who were the foundation of that city, who were the chefs, the cooks, the maids, the nannies, who actually supported the lifestyle of the rich people that were there vacationing. Those families were pushed into poverty as a result of the atrocities perpetrated against them by the city of Palm Springs.
Well, Areva's new book is Awakening. You can check her out on social media. Her information is on your screen, and you will be in Evanston this evening.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, you guys.